On my birthday, the lawn looked like a crime scene. Boxes. Clothes. My childhood photo albums scattered across wet grass while neighbors slowed their cars. My name is Rebecca Palmer, and I learned what rejection looks like wrapped in cake and candles. I had just blown out 32 candles when my father stood up, voice sharp and performative. "You need to grow up," he said, then ordered my brothers to carry my things outside like I was an unwanted tenant. My mother didn't look at me. Guests shifted, uncomfortable, pretending not to see my favorite lamp roll onto the driveway. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I walked through the front door once, grabbed my purse, and stepped onto the lawn that used to feel like home. That night, I slept on a friend's couch. Makeup still streaked across my face, phone buzzing with texts I refused to read. 2 weeks later, a formal letter arrived. My parents intended to seize my apartment, calling it a shared family asset. They thought my down payment came from them. They thought my signature was weak. They were wrong. Inside that apartment waited a truth they never imagined, and it was about. The letter arrived on thick cream paper, embossed with my father's name, neat, polished, ruthless. They claimed my apartment was a family investment, that my down payment had come from their resources, that I had merely borrowed what I now lived in. The tone was formal, but the message was clear. They wanted control, not truth. I sat on my bedroom floor that night, surrounded by boxes I hadn't unpacked since the birthday incident. My hands shook as I opened my laptop and pulled up my bank records, 10 years of deposits, transfers, late-night freelancing invoices, bonuses I never celebrated out loud. Every dollar was mine, not theirs. I drove to the apartment the next morning before sunrise. The building was quiet, windows dark, air heavy with rain. I unlocked the door slowly, like stepping into a secret I had carried for years. On the kitchen counter lay a manila folder I'd hidden in the back of a drawer when I first bought the place. Inside, the real story. A notarized loan agreement, signed by my grandmother before she passed, gifting me the exact amount of my down payment, no strings attached. And a letter she had written in shaky handwriting, telling me, "Don't let them bully you out of what you earned." My phone buzzed. My mother texted, "We're coming tomorrow." I smiled, because now I was ready to let them see what waited inside. They arrived at noon, polished, confident, already claiming victory in their posture. My father stepped inside first, scanning the apartment like an appraiser. My mother followed, arms folded, eyes sharp. "So this is what you hid from us," she said, as if I were a thief in my own home. I closed the door behind them. Silence settled thick and deliberate. I didn't argue. I didn't justify. I simply placed the manila folder on the coffee table and slid it toward them. My father opened it casually, then froze. His face changed in stages. Confusion, disbelief, then something close to panic. My mother leaned in. Her breath hitched when she read my grandmother's signature. "She gave this to you?" my father whispered. "Yes," I said evenly. "Freely. Legally. Without you." He slammed the folder shut. "This can't be valid." I pulled out the second document, the notarized transfer, stamped, witnessed, untouchable. I laid it beside the first. Outside, a siren wailed faintly, but inside, the room felt smaller, tighter. My mother's eyes glistened. Not with remorse, with calculation. "So," she said softly, "you've been lying to us for years." I met her gaze. "No. I've been protecting myself." For a moment, neither spoke. Then my father straightened, forcing his old authority back into place. And that was when I saw it clearly. They weren't here for truth. They were here for control, and it was already slipping through their hands. My father paced the living room like a man circling prey that had suddenly learned how to bite back. "This changes nothing," he said sharply. "That apartment was built on our name, our reputation, our sacrifices." I leaned against the kitchen counter, completely still. "Your reputation didn't pay the mortgage. My work did." My mother sat on the edge of the sofa, staring at my grandmother's letter as if it might rewrite itself. "She always favored you," she murmured, more bitterness than grief in her voice. I didn't soften. "She didn't favor me. She saw you clearly. Silence fractured the room. Then my father reached for his phone. We'll challenge this. We'll prove manipulation. I stepped forward and placed another envelope on the table, thicker this time. Bank statements, tax returns, work contracts, proof of every dollar I had earned without them. He stopped breathing for a second. My mother finally looked up at me, not angry, but shaken. You planned this, she whispered. I met her gaze, steady and cold.
No.
I survived you. Outside, thunder rolled. And inside, the power shifted. Permanently. That evening, I sent one email. Not emotional. Not dramatic. Just precise. To my parents' lawyer, cease and desist, effective immediately. Attached were the notarized gift letter, bank records, and proof of sole ownership. I copied the building's management and my own attorney so there would be no misunderstanding. By morning, the tone shifted. My father called, not yelling this time, just brittle. We don't want a war, he said. I didn't start one, I replied. At noon, the property manager knocked on my door.
Come.
Professional. He handed me a printed notice confirming that no third party had any claim to my unit. My parents' attempt to list it as a shared asset had been formally rejected. Later that day, my mother drove by and sat in her car across the street. I watched her through the blinds, small now, not powerful, just stubbornly parked in front of a life she could no longer enter. I stood in my living room, sunlight pooling on the floor, and felt something settle into place. They threw my belongings onto a lawn to humiliate me. Instead, they had carried me back into my own power. And as the sky darkened, I realized the truth they never imagined wasn't just paperwork. It was me no longer afraid of them. The next week was unnervingly quiet. No more threats. No more letters. Just a heavy silence that felt louder than their shouting ever had. I went to work, came home, cooked dinner, paid my bills, and waited for the next move. It came in a form I didn't expect. A small envelope slid under my apartment door one evening. No return address. Just my name, neatly printed. Inside was a photograph. Me at age 10, sitting beside my grandmother on the same lawn where my belongings had been thrown. She had her arm around my shoulders, smiling gently at the camera. And on the back, in my mother's handwriting, 3 words were scribbled. She loved you. I sat on the floor holding that picture, feeling something crack open that I had kept sealed for years. Love had existed in this family once. It just hadn't belonged to my parents. My phone buzzed. A text from my father. We made mistakes. No apology. No explanation. Just admission hanging in the air like smoke. I typed one reply and nothing more. Mistakes don't throw children onto lawns. I placed the photo on my mantle, not as a memory of them, but of the woman who believed in me when no one else did. And for the first time since my birthday, I slept without waiting for the next blow to fall. 2 mornings later, my mother appeared at the lobby without calling. She didn't try to come up. She just waited in the glass hallway, small, perfectly dressed, holding a grocery bag like a peace offering. I watched from the balcony for a long time before I went down. She handed me the bag, my grandmother's old teapot wrapped in newspaper. She kept this for you, she said, eyes lowered. I didn't take it at first. Around us, the elevator chimed, strangers passing through our quiet stalemate. I'm not here to fight, Mom whispered. I just wanted you to know we see you now. See me. After throwing me out like trash, I finally accepted the teapot. It was warm from her hands. Behind her, my father stayed in the car with the engine running, watching but not approaching. I didn't invite her in. I didn't hug her. I simply said, "Seeing isn't enough." She nodded, tears gathering, but I stepped back into the building and let the doors close between us. Upstairs, I placed the teapot beside the photo on my mantle. 2 heirlooms. 2 truths. One family I chose, and one I refused to rebuild. That boundary felt finally permanent. The following Sunday, I hosted my first real birthday in years. Not a party, just a quiet table. 3 chairs. One for me. One for my closest friend who had taken me in that first night. One left empty for my grandmother's memory. I brewed tea in her old teapot. The scent filled the apartment. Warm, steady, undeniable. I set the photo beside it, facing the window where sunlight pooled like a blessing she would have loved. My parents never came back to argue. No more letters arrived. No more claims. Only silence, the kind that feels like an ending, not a threat. Later that week, I finalized the legal filings that permanently barred them from any future claim to my home. Not out of spite, but out of protection. The documents felt heavy in my hands, not a weapon, but a boundary carved in ink. That night, I walked slowly through my apartment. Every wall carried my choices. Every room carried my survival. Nothing here belonged to them anymore, not even the fear they once planted. I sat on the floor where I had once shaken, and I felt something new settle in my chest. Steadiness. They had tried to throw me away. Instead, they revealed exactly who I was without them. And for the first time in my life, I believed it. I turned off the lights, locked the door, and breathed.